Hello everyone and welcome back to the Winter Season Showdowns, a best of 5 in Heart of the Swarm between Rhett and Feast. Epic match we have going on, lots of new Heart of the Swarm units being utilized. If you haven't yet, be sure to visit the Team Liquid thread, be sure to visit the Reddit thread. Go lay down a comment if you're watching this on VOD on our YouTube channel in crisp 1080p HD. Feel free to leave a comment down below on how you're enjoying the series, maybe make some predictions, maybe talk about the Swarm host a little bit because that's an awesome unit.
It really is. I feel almost this match we should call Learning with Rhett. As you know, he shows us the strengths of the Mutalisk, the weaknesses of the Swarm host in Game 2, how they can't really do a direct engagement, and then the strengths of the Swarm host in Game 3, as just you launch Volley after Volley and War Feast down there. It
should be interesting to see how is Feast going to adjust his play, because we just saw how powerful the Swarm host can be if not dealt with properly. So.
Very scary unit.
Before we get into Game 4, guys, MLGProShop.com. Let's talk about it.
So, if you go to MLGProShop.com, what can you do there?
You can buy stuff.
What type of stuff can you buy at MLGProShop.com?
You can buy t-shirts, hoodies, MLG Nike merchandise, MLG gaming equipment, gift packs, baseball caps, female gaming apparel, accessories, deals and steals. You can buy deals and steals.
You know what? I've never bought a steal before.
Well, now you can. MLGProShop.com.
You know, I've bought some things cheap enough.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm stealing. Is that what they're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And they even sell priceless tees.
Yes, they do. Do those cost anything?
They do. They actually do have a price. But they are priceless.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, go to MLGProShop.com. Buy some stuff. If someone has a birthday coming up, great opportunity. I'm one of those guys who's like, I don't know what to buy my dad. So, like, I'll go to MLGProShop.com. I'll go click on Nike merchandise. I know my dad likes his Nike merchandise. And I'll buy him one of these awesome jackets. These are the coolest jackets in the world. These dry fit things, they're so useful. And they're classy enough where you can, like, wear them to, like, prom or something.
Nice.
Not really, but...
Nice.
You can wear them pretty anywhere. I would, too. All right.
You got to be proud.
All right, let's go on into Game 4. I feel happy with MLGProShop.com.
A lot of good stuff there.
And
I feel happy with this series.
Yes, me too.
I've been literally, like, you can testify this.
Okay.
Every time we've got a Zerg, I'm like, let's see if he goes Swarm host, guys.
I know, I do too.
And then we don't see any. And Rhett's making me happy. I love Rhett.
I love Feast.
I love Feast too, but he's not making Swarm host.
He's been being awesome with his Stargate play, though.
That is true. That is. He's actually done. You know, he's made his Phoenixes so useful. Like,
yeah, really good to watch.
Every single game, the Phoenixes are at 0 energy, and every lift has been a kill. Like even when there's spores, he finds a hole, picks up a drone, kills it. So cost efficient throughout the game with those Phoenixes.
Feast is your blue Protoss player in the bottom right-hand location, representing Team Millennium. His opponent is in the top right. He's the red Zerg player, Rhett. Representing Team Liquid, Rhett, as you can see on the scoreboard above, is leading the series 2-1. This is a best of 5, which means if Rhett wins this game, he will qualify for the MLG Winter Championships in Dallas, Texas, coming up on March 15th. Feast has some work to do. He must win 2 games in a row.
I think he can do it.
I think he could too.
I think he can. I mean, this is a great map for Stargate 3rd. He can use force fields to keep Swarm hosts away until he develops the counter. Maybe... No, I hate to say Tempest counter Swarm host because if they already have Infestation Pit, it's not that hard to get a Hive and just get a couple Vipers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have Templar and Cannons and Tempest, that can work, but that's hard to get out 3 bases. Well, you can do it, but it's hard to get that while not dying to Locust Waves, I guess it's fair to say.
I think it might be... Locusts are tricky on this map, in my opinion. There's a lot of open space in the middle, so it's like, all right, I want to set up an anchor point for my Swarm hosts. Where do I put them? If you're talking about Ohana, it's very straightforward. There's one attack path, pretty much. I mean, there's like 3, but like there's one main attack path, and you can cover your flanks relatively well. At Toon Valley, it's very spread out. There's lots of hallways on this map, so you have to be wary of counterattacks. You have to be wary of flanks. There's a lot of space in the middle where you can maneuver large amounts of your army, so I think Swarm hosts might be a little bit more difficult to pull off on this map compared to last map. So I'm not convinced that okay, go for it.
I actually think the more open it is, the much stronger Swarm hosts are.
You think so?
Yeah, because if it's a linear map, your opponent knows exactly where they are.
But the main issue would be, how do I get around the Storm Host so I can actually hit them? Because like we saw in Game 1, Rhett sent his Locust in a certain direction, and then Feast was able to come in from a different direction to engage the Storm Hosts now that they were vulnerable.
I mean, that's true. If you want to put your Storm Hosts very close to your opponent, you got to have a unidirectional force. But you know what I haven't really seen Rhett use yet is keeping the Storm Hosts very far away from the opponent and constantly sending in Locusts and then moving the Storm Hosts in between each Locust wave.
Yes.
And you, instead of, a lot of people think of Storm Hosts as siege units when I don't think that's an accurate description because they're extremely mobile. They only have to burrow once every 22 seconds to get their maximum launches out. And their range is way beyond siege. Like a siege range is like a 9 to 13 range unit. Storm Hosts have range about 60. So really utilizing that superior range, I think, is the key to an open map. So yes, they can come around from a different angle, but if you're range 60 away and you have good vision of their army, you're going to know where the army is and always be able to just keep cutting away from that.
I like it. It's a fantastic point.
I mean, I haven't seen Rhett use that yet, so maybe that's just not his style of Storm Hosts. And if that's true, then you're right. This will be a weaker map for the way he approaches the Storm Host usage. But this is going to be a great map for his Mutas play.
All right, let's keep an eye on these opening build orders. Feast taking 2 gases in his main base, very standard play, going for that fast expansion, building a mothership core at his natural already. So he might go for that Zealot Stalker light push, which has been pretty good for him recently.
It has. I mean, he got a lot of kills on Ohana.
Yeah.
I mean, he got like 14 drone kills and like 14 Zergling kills and 5 or 6 drone kills. Only lost a single Stalker and I think maybe Zealot too. So he's really, I mean, Feast's control with the small gateway armies is absolutely immaculate.
And that's not to mention, you know, Rhett has to make units to deal with those pushes. So you're essentially killing drones in that sense, where the larva is being used on units rather than drones.
Look at him going straight for the drones instead of the queen. I love it. Knowing in the same time he can kill queen, he can kill 4 or 5 drones, which of course is typically a better deal. And he's already gotten, I think, was that 3 drones?
I see 4 and the workers killed.
4. Okay. Yeah, that would, I mean, a Zealot for 4 drones is perfectly fine. And you know what? He doesn't have to use the recall this time. He's just going to run back home. And a nice trade for him. His 3rd base is already halfway done. It was a very fast 3rd base. I'm really loving where Feast is at so far in this game. But that being said, we talk about if you let Rhett do what he wants to do.
Look at that production tab.
I mean, it's wow. It's drones.
He's not going to stop.
Trying to get Rhett to stop making drones is incredibly difficult. Yeah, it is.
You know, this is obviously this play from Feast is something kind of unique to this map. As far as how you can take a 3rd very quickly, because there's a ramp leading up to it. Just set up a cannon there and a nice wall off, and you're generally going to be okay. So we'll have to see how he converts this superior economy he's going to have at this point in the game into some sort of aggression, into some sort of timing. That's what I would like to see. Right when he transfers those probes, takes advantage of the amazing economy he's going to have.
Just as you're mentioning that Blink has started, we could see, I believe its creator, and Wings of Liberty loves to do these 3 base mass Blink Stalker Sentry timings off with a couple of mortals added in, but sometimes just Blink Stalker Sentry. And it looks like Feast could gear up for a really strong version of that. And if you can catch a Swarm Host off guard with a mass Blink Stalker army, avoid maybe force field a Locust in a dot, and then just circumnavigate them, it could be absolutely strong. And it actually does look like Rhett's doing that Swarm Host build yet again.
Of course, double Evo chamber. He's got Carapace. He's got +1 missile attacks. Infestation Pit is about to finish here. Now, I feel like there is a timing here for Feast. And that timing is before the Locust can get out, or if there's only 1 or 2. If he hits right then, I think he could get a lot of damage done.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I feel like he could force Spine Crawlers.
Sure.
And if Rhett tries to do, well, yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on how many Zerglings Rhett can produce as well, because there's not that many sentries, or if the Locust can force the force fields out, mass Speedlings can actually do pretty well against these timings. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. A Hydralisk then is being built as well. Of course, Hydralisk can supplement it pretty nicely. They're great at sniping observers. Is kind of their primary purpose. Rhett's already cranking out those Swarm Hosts. If Feast wants to do a timing, he's I'm about to say he's better moving out. And here he goes.
And this is such a
down
great
the
avenue.
banana hallway.
Yeah, this is such a great path that Feast is
and he's got the mother. He doesn't even need the observer because the mothership core can have a high ground vision, so he can even blink up if he wants. Of course,
gotta be careful with those things.
Yeah, he'd abandon the sentries. He'd have blink on cooldown. Rather just go straight to front way.
Storm hosts are out, and he's got quite a few of them.
That's too many locusts. I mean,
now he can dodge him right now. Just blink up into the main, but then he
could.
He gets protected with force fields from the low ground kind of a thing.
I don't know. He's
there it is.
There it is. There's a blink in the main.
All right.
You know, Time Warp can be a great tool against the locusts as well. He's gonna try to do some damage here.
Targeting down this hatchery, you might just try to snipe the hatchery and run. There's the Time Warp, gonna slow down the
Yes,
lanes.
he's going for the hatchery, and it's
gonna
recall.
Gonna fall recall. Boom.
Beautifully played by Feast.
Awesome play there.
Meanwhile, the sentries are retreating as well. Now he's got I mean, that was awesome. That was like the best. I don't think he could have beat that army straight up with the spines and that many Swarmos. So it was great that he got the hatchery kill. But at the end of the day,
you still got the Swarm hosts and you're building them.
And his opponent still has 3 bases. So it's not like he got an economic advantage from doing that. It did not give him an economic advantage. What it did is it basically put him at economic equality, whereas he would have been at a disadvantage if he didn't do that. So he's kind of equalized the economy. Now he's progressing level 3 weapons, going for those Colossi. I don't know. I've yet to see Colossi really do well against Swarmos. I'm skeptical. He can't fight Ret straight up. Like you can't do that against the Swarmos. But he does have blink. He does have recall. He does have a lot of hallucination power.
Yes. Something
to mention. So I think there's a lot of room for him to just keep being a little ninja, poking here, poking there, maybe sneaking up a 4th base behind it. He's got to do something clever though, because head to head, you're not going to be the type of composition Red has produced.
I would love to see him really get a lot of vision of the map. If he can know where Ret's Swarm hosts are, he can start working.
I love what Ret's doing. Even if you're back at your base, just send those locusts out there as like investigation point. I'd like to see him actually burrow right now and send another wave in front of him. Burrow, Ret, you're getting too close. Ret.
He's charging forward.
Ret.
Now he's gonna burrow.
I mean, there are no Colossi, so I guess he can be a little bit more bold with his Swarm hosts.
I think he wants to be able to do some damage to that wall at the third.
I mean, he's close enough right now. The Swarmos he doesn't need to move any closer. In fact, is he going? No, he's going to keep them where they are. Yeah. I mean, where they are right now, they can actually get to the third and take out a building before they time out.
Force fields there.
Yeah, trying to slow down the Locust progression, but here's another wave of Locusts coming in. And this is exactly how I love to see Swarmos being used. I mean, these Locusts, there goes one Stalker, there goes a Zeld as well, and another Stalker took severe damage. In fact, another one's going down, and this is all free damage. And
Red just backed away?
Yeah. I mean, he probably didn't even need to back away, but why not? Keep it safe, keep it alive, waiting for the high-tech, waiting for the Corruptors to help against those Colossi. I love Ret's position here. I mean...
I think Feast still thinks Ret might be in the middle of the map.
He does. It's weird because it's like, Feast has Tuner Food Death Ball Protoss army with 3 attack upgrades, but yet I feel Ret's army is better even though it's not Hive-Tech. It's just... that's a scary Zerg army as long as it stays away from the Protoss army. Oh, Ret's moving to the middle though. He might be getting too close. Feast if Feast jumps on him right now, this could be a
here he goes.
Great opportunity. Ret's charging forward even more.
Feast trying to get a concave here, getting a lot of damage done with the Colossus. Got to back up that Colossus, getting very low in health. Corruptor's trying to target that down. And Red, does he have enough here to hold this off?
I think he does. I mean, the Swarm hosts are making another Locust wave. The Locusts do so much damage, and Brett's happy to lose some Corruptors and some Hydra. The Swarm hosts are what he needs to keep alive.
Feast is just, his supply is dwindling. Brett's still at 180.
He is, and you know, it looks like he's losing units, but the majority of his supply is actually behind the scenes in those Swarm hosts.
Yep.
So this is what I was saying. You can't fight that straight up. You've got to really work around it. I
liked his idea of, he had some Zealots warped in here on the right-hand side.
Yes.
I feel like if you wait for that Locust launch to go and then send those Zealots after the Swarm host, that could be a decent move. So we'll have to see if Feast goes back into that. But he's only at 146 supply. His 2 Colossi in production, and the Locusts are getting closer and closer. Ret at 198 supply might try to end his opponent right now.
The Locusts are coming after Feast. He's trying to kite away from them, but each shot's so painful. The Speeding's coming in there. Oh, and the Speedings are gonna gum up the army, so the army can't retreat from the Locust. The Locust.
GG from Feast, and Ret gets that qualification spot in Dallas, Texas. you're going to see him there. Congrats to Rhett, taking out Feast 3-1, showing the power of the Storm host that we've been raving about the Storm host.
We have.
We've been a little bit sad that we haven't seen him as much.
I'm glad that Zerg finally decided to build them.
Yeah.
Because they're a great unit. Rhett, he used them really well. I mean, I feel like he was maybe risking their lives unnecessarily, but it was okay, right? They were still always just back far enough that Feast couldn't quite access them, and a beautifully played game by Rhett.
Awesomely played, and there was an image on Reddit a while, I think it was yesterday, showing Minigun as the only foreigner in the Grandmaster top 15 or something, and people were noting that there's only one Zerg there. So I'm hoping that some people at home watch these games, because I think Zerg is good in Heart of the Storm. Much to a lot of other individuals might disagree with me, but I think Rhett was displaying some really quality Zerg play there that I hope players at home can get some inspiration from.
Yes, definitely. Rhett's a very inspiring player on his macro-wise, unit compositions-wise. I'm really looking forward to see how he plays against Terran.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really where the Zerg struggle the most right now. But the ZVP looked great, man. I mean, Feast is no joke. Every single game, Feast play was like, it's what you expect from a standard, very good Protoss player. But Rhett's showing you can't just go Blink Stalker Colossi anymore. Like that, the Death Ball doesn't beat the Swarm Host Death Ball anymore. You gotta, or maybe you gotta use your maneuverability a little bit better. Maybe that's where the mistake was.
Well, let's talk about that just a little bit. Let's say we booted up the replay, and then I sat in Rhett's shoes and then controlled his units. You sat in Feast's shoes at whatever mark. What could Feast have done differently to kind of help himself get back into that game, or how could he have actually engaged the Swarm Host?
I mean, I think you kind of have to treat Swarm Hosts exactly like Broodlords, except they come, like I said, 5 minutes earlier. But the Protoss advantage is that your recall comes at the start of the game instead of having to wait for it. So I think you just run around, you completely ignore Swarm Hosts and never try to engage them unless they're exposed. And every time you see their army is out of position, you run your Blink Stalker Colossi, which can go through cliffs because Blink and Colossi, and you have a Mothership Core with it. And if you ever get stuck, you recall, you just keep killing hatcheries. Meanwhile, you expand at all corners of the map and get the economies that you can withstand replacing units lost to Locust.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what playstyles develop from this type of play. It's really fun, really exciting to watch, really refreshing as well. Let's take a look at that player card so we know what's coming up, because we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up next week. First, let's recap Europe. Sase taking out Snoot, he's going to Dallas. Baby Knight taking out Nurchio, he's going to Dallas. Stefano taking out Titan, he's going to Dallas. Bly, Thorazane, and Rhett, all with victories. They're all going to be in Dallas, Texas at the Winter Championships. Congrats to all those guys. Ooh, I'm getting so excited for that tournament. So many great Heart of the Swarm players are going to be there. And of course, that concludes the European side of things, except for Damaga versus Grubby, which will be played a little bit later. But next week, we have some epic matches that are going to be happening again every single day at 5 p.m. Eastern. There you see it on your screen. Monday, we have Creator versus Nestea. Tuesday, we have MVP versus Curious. And Wednesday, we have Sniper versus Seed. Are you kidding me? These matches just keep getting better and better.
So we've got 4 GSL Codex champions just in those 6 players. And Curious, of course.
He's destroying GSL right now.
I feel he's one of the very top couple Zergs in the world right now. And I mean, everyone knows about Creator.
We have the IM trio of amazingness, Nestea, MVP, and Seed.
Yes. I mean, it's so much skill there, and that's just the first 3 matches. There's still a couple more after that later in the week.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You guys better be there. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be here. We're going to be casting it. It's going to be awesome. And if you miss any of it, don't worry. We got your back. YouTube.com/official MLGSC2. Every single VOD from the winter season showdowns will be there in full 1080p HD very soon after the broadcast. If you're watching this on VOD, or if you're watching this on rebroadcast, be sure to visit the YouTube channel, drop a subscribe. We're getting very close to Call of Duty. Actually, we're not, but I want to get close to Call of Duty. They're at like 12,000 subscribers. We're at about 5,500. 5,500 is great, but if you could take some time out of your day to go and check out the content there, if you approve of the content and you appreciate MLG providing that content in full 1080p HD, it would mean a lot to us if you could subscribe to that channel. Really appreciate it. That being said, coming up next, I think we have some rules of engagement.
That's right, sir. And you know what? You were talking earlier about the Thor-Zanzaka match. And I'm going to be analyzing it. All 3 games of that match can be analyzed in just a few minutes. There were some amazing games. Yeah, I mean, Game 2 was the epic one, but Games 1 and 3 did some really cool tricks that Thorazane did that are easy. Like, you're the Terran player, you come, you loosen all in, and you go complain about it on Reddit. Thorazane is the small things that watching his replays you won't notice because they're subtle, but they're the difference between a world-class Terran like Thorazane who holds those one-base Solons without a problem, or they weren't always one-base, holds aggression without a problem, versus you who gets caught off guard by DTs and Oracles and whatnot. So if you ever have trouble with those, stay tuned because you're going to do a lot of cool stuff on Rules of Engagement today.
Yep, Rules of Engagement coming up next, guys, with axslav. Definitely stay tuned. In the meantime, we're going to show you a top 5 plays from Week 1 of the Winter Season Showdowns. Check it out, and we'll see you in Rules of Engagement.